and welcome. This is Susan Lopresti. I am so excited to have you here with me today. For those of you who don't know me, I am a holistic health coach, Reiki, meditation, and breathwork practitioner, and I work with midlife women who are beginning to notice changes in the way they look and in the way they feel, and they're looking to make some simple, easy lifestyle and diet changes so that they can begin to reclaim their health and their vitality that they had when they were younger. And that's what I help women to do. And I just guide them through and offer them simple, easy techniques because I don't want to stress my clients out by giving them a lot of extra work that they need to take care of. So I make it easy and simple so that it's sustainable long term. And today I want to talk about a topic that I feel is very, very important. And the topic is about adaptogens. I don't know how many of you have heard of adaptogens, but I'm going to get into it with you right now and we'll take it from there. What is your stress level? The National Institute of Mental Health lists stress as a common reaction to everyday pressures that may be brought on by things like work, school, finances, family matters. Although stress typically carries a negative connotation, not all stress is bad. In fact, the body's reaction to stress can actually help to motivate you to perform better, say in preparation for an upcoming job interview or a pending exam. It can also be life-saving in a situation where you need to react to danger. The body prepares to face a threat or flee danger by quickening the pulse, tensing muscles, and increasing brain function to help with survival. The problem with stress is when the body doesn't have the ability to recover from it. Prolonged stress can cause the body's hormones to become unbalanced, and that can result in illness and disease. And do you know which hormones are associated with stress? Cortisol, a steroid hormone, is often called a stress hormone because of its connection to the stress response. The secretion of cortisol triggers the fight or flight response in us. This process also stimulates your sympathetic nervous system, your adrenal glands, and decreases digestive secretions while increasing your blood pressure. In a healthy individual, the body and the brain respond to the stressor, and the cortisol level returns back to normal. However, elevated cortisol levels over long periods of time due to chronic stress can negatively affect every physiological system in the body. Adrenaline is another hormone released as a stress response. What comes to mind when you think of adrenaline? A racing heart, perhaps? Adrenaline is commonly known as the fight or flight hormone due to the immediate reaction to stress. If you ever experienced a car pulling out in front of you out of nowhere, or you see a child about to jump into the middle of the road, the sensation that you experience is a surge of adrenaline. It's produced in the adrenal glands anytime that the brain senses danger and sends a message to the glands to create it. This is a natural response to stress and only presents a problem when the adrenal glands become fatigued, when they receive constant messages from the brain to produce adrenaline. This is what happens in cases of chronic stress. What's the difference between chronic stress and typical stress? Acute stress is the most common type of stress, and it's often brought on by everyday occurrences driven by both past and future anticipations, pressures, and demands. It can be thrilling and it can be exciting, like the feeling you experience on a roller coaster ride, let's say. Whatever the cause, whether it is be a near-death experience, giving a public speech, or jitters leading up to a race, acute stress is characterized by coming on quickly and dissipating soon thereafter. However, you can experience too much of this type of stress and it can lead to exhaustion. Think about riding that roller coaster over and over again. Due to the release of hormones such as adrenaline, acute stress can cause the following symptoms. You could start experiencing heart palpitations, nausea, chest pain, abdominal pains, breathing difficulties. And you notice that a lot of these symptoms seem like symptoms that you would have if you're having a heart attack, but yet it's due to a release of stress hormones. So you always need to be very, very careful and never assume that you know what it is. If you're feeling any of these symptoms and they're persisting, you really need to have yourself checked out. Next, let's take a look at episodic acute stress. Any ideas what causes this type of stress? Acute stress becomes episodic due to the frequency of the episodes. We all know someone who always seems to be living in chaos and complete disorder. Everyone knows someone like that. That person may always be running late, they're rushing around, or experiencing a constant stream of crises that put them in a constant state of acute stress. A constant worry is also a form of episodic acute stress. The symptoms of episodic acute stress may include persistent tension headaches or migraines, hypertension, chest pain, heart disease. As you can see, the symptoms of an episodic acute stress are more severe than those experienced with acute stress. Next, we will look at the dangers of chronic stress. Chronic stress refers to interminable periods consisting of unrelenting stress. Often, a person experiencing chronic stress is someone who is not able to see their way out of a miserable situation. Pressures from work, a bad living situation, or childhood trauma can lead to chronic stress, as these pressures are often internalized and therefore they're constant. In fact, one of the most dangerous aspects of chronic stress is that it becomes a natural state. Despite the havoc that it creates on the body's systems, based on the research from the National Center for Biotechnology Information, all bodily symptoms can be affected by chronic stress. And if untreated, it can suppress the body's immune system, which can ultimately manifest as illness. If left untreated, long-term chronic stress can cause adrenal fatigue and many more potentially dangerous issues. What are the potential dangers? How stress affects your physical health. Let's look at that for a moment. For many of us, we consider stress as the cause of tight shoulders and headaches, and that's some of my symptoms. But chronic stress can really wreak havoc on the entire physical body. Here's how. Let's look at the immune system. Acute stress stimulates the immune system, which can be a good thing for immediate situations when the body needs to fend off infections or to expedite healing after a physical trauma. However, chronic stress weakens the immune system due to the constant release of stress hormones. Those under chronic stress may become more susceptible to colds and viral infections and other types of infections as well. And then we'll look at the reproductive system. For men, chronic stress can lower a man's testosterone levels, which can interfere with sperm production. It can cause erectile dysfunction and impotence. For women, stress can lead to irregular, heavier, or painful periods. Chronic stress can also cause problems with fertility. When the body experiences stress, your muscles tense up to protect the body from injury. Once the threat has passed, the muscles release and you relax. But when you're under constant stress, the muscles never have the chance to relax and recover. This can lead to tight muscles and joints, headaches, shoulder pain, and other body aches. And then we need to look also at the central nervous system. The central nervous system is in charge of the stress response in your brain that stimulates the hypothalamus that tells your adrenal glands to release the stress hormones, adrenaline, and cortisol. The rush of hormones caused by stress can cause rapid breathing and increased heart rate, which can upset the digestive system and can cause heartburn, acid reflux, diarrhea, nausea can all occur when chronic stress is present. Mental and emotional health is affected. Chronic stress can also take a toll on your emotional health and your mental health. And here are some things to consider when dealing with chronic stress. Depression. Stress hormones can act as a sedative to help protect the body when it's under pressure, which is a normal response to stress. When chronic stress is present, the body is signaled to produce those hormones continuously. This causes sustained feelings of low energy that, when sustained for long periods, can lead to feelings of depression. Bipolar disorder. The symptoms of bipolar disorder, which involve traumatic shifts in mood, energy level, and behavior, can be extremely exacerbated by stress. This causes more severe mood cycling, including disruptive sleep, racing thoughts, feelings of depression, and heightened distraction. Cognitive functioning, the sustained presence of stress hormones in the body, can have a negative impact on your immune system by decreasing the function of brain cells in a region of the brain called the hippocampus and in the frontal lobes. As a result, chronic stress may experience confusion, problems with decision making, or difficulty concentrating. Now let's look at personality changes. Chronic stress can cause personality changes such as heightened irritability, hostility, anger, frustration, aggression, due to the consistent presence of stress hormone. We've talked a lot about the effects of chronic stress. Are you ready to talk about how to relieve some stress and balance the body? What if I told you that there's a way to do this without medication and it's all natural? Introducing adaptogens. Adaptogens are a class of healing plants that help to balance, restore, and protect the body from the prolonged release of stress hormones due to chronic stress. They do this by doing the following. They boost your immune system. They support a healthy weight. They increase physical endurance and also your mental focus. They help to reduce discomfort caused by poor health. They encourage a balanced mood, and also they balance your hormones. Each adaptogen has its own unique properties that can help with specific types of stressors. Let's take a look at a few. Holy basil, a member of the mint family, is frequently used in cooking, but it also has been used as a healing plant for thousands of years. Native to Asia, holy basil, also known as the incomparable one, and is considered one of the most sacred plants of India. Holy basil works to enhance the body's response to physical and emotional stress naturally by optimizing the functions of the body in times of stress. It is also known to help balance stress hormones. Holy basil can be taken in a pill form, as an extract, or brewed as a tea. I'm going to give you a little bit of a recipe how to make holy basil tea. You could make your own by having a quarter cup of fresh holy basil leaves, hot water, and honey. You want to wash the holy basil leaves thoroughly and place them in a cup. Use the back of a spoon to press the leaves against the sides of the cup to help to bruise them, which allows the essential oils to escape. Pour hot, but not boiling, water over the leaves and stir. Place a saucer on top of the cup to trap the essential oils inside the cup as the tea steeps. Wait about 5 minutes, remove the saucer, strain the leaves, and sweeten the tea as you like. You want to drink it warm, or you could pour it over ice and enjoy it. It's a wonderful tea to have. It's very soothing. The next thing I want to talk about is ashwagandha, also known as the strength of the stallion, due to its use as immune system support, is a natural stress reliever. It relieves stress by helping to correct hormone imbalances due to emotional and also physical stress. This includes adrenal fatigue that can take a physical toll on the body, as well as anxiety, a common psychological side effect to chronic stress. Additionally, ashwagandha helps to balance glucose levels in the body, lower blood pressure, reduce brain cell degeneration, and increase your sex drive. Ashwagandha and its extracts are commonly taken in the form of herbal teas, powders, tablets, and syrups. Let's take a look at another way to use ashwagandha. You can make ashwagandha cookies. Ashwagandha can be difficult to consume in its raw form due to its bitter taste. So try these ashwagandha cookies and see if that helps you. So here, get your pen and paper and list these ingredients. You want to use a half a cup of refined wheat flour, or if you're gluten-free, you can use coconut flour, rice flour, any kind of gluten-free flour that you like. A pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of ashwagandha powder, a quarter cup of butter, an eighth of a cup of sugar, a quarter cup of milk, and for your instructions, you want to sift the flour, salt, and ashwagandha powder together 3 or 4 times with a sieve, and then set that aside. Melt the butter in a pan, add sugar to the melted butter, and mix well. Next, add milk and mix together. Add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, mix and knead into a dough. Form the dough into cookies on a baking sheet. Bake in the oven at 375 for 2 to 3 minutes. And you have yourself a delicious cookie, and you're getting this wonderful ashwagandha into your system to help to relax and to soothe you. The next one we want to look at is licorice root. Don't get too excited. We aren't suggesting that the sweet black candy you probably associate with licorice will help you manage stress. In fact, licorice candy often doesn't even contain actual licorice in it. Real licorice root is actually a therapeutic herb that has been used for its natural balancing abilities for centuries. It's a powerhouse herb when it comes to treating adrenal fatigue, which, as you know, is often associated with chronic stress. Research has shown that licorice can help to modify or increase the body's levels of cortisol production to support healthy adrenal production and to help with adrenal fatigue. Licorice contains a compound called glycolic acid that stops the body from breaking down cortisol so that the body does not become depleted during times increased or prolonged stress. How do you take licorice root? Licorice root can be found in many specialty health stores in one or more of the following forms. It could be in powder, capsules, teas, tinctures, and you could try this licorice and ginger tea. Here are your ingredients: 2 quarts of water, a quarter cup of licorice root, 1 finger length of fresh ginger, sliced, not peeled. And here are your instructions. You want to fill a pot with 2 quarts of water, add licorice and ginger, bring to a boil, and then simmer for 10 minutes. Pour through a fine mesh strainer into mugs. Serve and enjoy. The next adaptogen that I want to speak about is ginseng. Ginseng is a slow-growing root that's used for its stress-related benefits in the United States and Asia for centuries. According to the National Center for Biotechnology Information, ginseng effectively regulates the immune response and the hormonal changes due to stress, thus maintaining homeostasis. In addition to suppressing the occurrence of psychological diseases such as anxiety and depression, ginseng also prevents stress-associated physiological diseases. Ginseng not only helps to balance the hormones, it also works to treat stress-related issues like adrenal fatigue and unbalanced plasma glucose levels. Tropical ginseng smoothie. Let's get a recipe for this going. While ginseng is often served as a tea or in pill form, there are other creative ways to get your ginseng in. Try this delicious ginseng smoothie. Here are your ingredients: 8 ounces of coconut water, a half a cup of fresh mango, a half heaping cup of fresh pineapple chunks, a half a teaspoon of ginseng powder, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of nutmeg, and here are your instructions. Add the coconut water, mango, pineapple, ginseng powder, cinnamon, and nutmeg to a blender, blending on low speed until smooth, and then enjoy this delicious healing smoothie. Astragalus root is another herb that's essential in traditional Chinese medicine, and it's been used as a natural curative for thousands of years. It is most commonly known as an herb capable of slowing the aging process. It also helps to support a strong immune system, one of the many bodily symptoms that comes under attack in cases of chronic stress. Like many other adaptogens that we have discussed, astragalus is used to help balance stress hormone cortisol to prevent adrenal fatigue. It is also used to prevent or reduce conditions that can be related to stress, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and works as an anti-inflammatory as well. Astragalus root is most commonly available as a pill, capsule, or extract, but many recipes include the powerhouse root. Next up, an immune boosting soup. So get your pen and paper out for this next recipe. Astragalus immunity soup. Here are your ingredients: 8 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 onion diced, 1 bulb of garlic minced, 1.5-inch piece of fresh ginger root grated, 1.5 cups of salted vegetable soup stock, 5 pieces of sliced dried astragalus root, 2 cups of fresh sliced shiitake mushrooms, 1 large reishi mushroom, cayenne pepper if desired. Here are your instructions. Bring water to boil in a large pot. Heat the olive oil, Saute garlic, onions, and ginger until soft and aromatic. Add contents of skillet to water. Add broth, shiitake, astragalus, and reishi mushrooms. Simmer covered for 2 hours. Remove from heat and allow to sit for 2 more hours. Remove astragalus and reishi mushrooms. Reheat. Add salt and pepper to taste and the cayenne pepper if desired. The next thing I want to talk to you about in regards to adaptogens is that you need to get the green light before trying them. It's essential when considering adaptogens for stress support that you first consult with your trusted medical team before starting treatment. They are natural, and chances are you will be cleared to adopt a treatment plan, but every person is unique. And even though symptoms of stress may present in similar ways across multiple people, the treatment for each person, including types of adaptogens and amounts, will vary based on individual needs. And so once you get clearance and some guidance from your medical practitioner, you are off and you're about to experience this wonderful process of how you will feel when you incorporate these wonderful herbs into your body. You will see that you will be so much more calmer and clearer. You'll get better sleep, deeper sleep. You'll wake up feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. And as we are aging, that's really what we want to reclaim, is our rejuvenation from when we were younger. And adaptogens are one of the many ways that you could begin to feel that rejuvenation. Thank you so much for attending this class. I hope this experience has left you feeling more informed about the toll that stress can take on your body, as well as the powerful benefits of adaptogens. Thank you again for joining me. I so appreciate you spending your valuable time with me. Please, if you liked what you heard, follow me on Instagram at Susan Lopresti with 2 underscores. You can also go to my website, www.susanlopresti.com. You can schedule a free 30-minute health assessment with me right there on my website. And you could also learn more about me and what it is that I do and look at some of the programs that I offer. Again, thank you for spending time with me. I do so appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.